Sometimes the only way to understand each other is to become each other. Borrowed Days managed to flip the roles where the adult becomes the child and the child becomes the adult. Now, did they manage to make this work? So the story follows Lisa and her daughter Emerald, played by Nadia Buari and Shim. Lisa is a driven business strategist, but Emerald harbors resentment towards her, blaming her for her parents' divorce. Frustrated and desperate for freedom, Emerald makes a wish to switch places with her mom. And to her shock, it comes true. Now mother and daughter are forced to live each other's lives, learning firsthand the struggles they never understood. So Borrowed Days is currently showing on Uchenna Mbunabo TV on YouTube. Movie produced by Uchenna Mbunabo and directed by Cassie. The fact that this movie was directed by Cassie was what made me eager to watch this movie. You know, Shim and Nadia Buari come off as a very suitable duo to play the role of mother and daughter. You know, in respect to the resemblance and all, they were a perfect fit. Now, this movie is based on Body Switch, and I was eager to see whether Nadia Buari and Shim would be able to pull it off. You know, the child acting like the adult and the adult acting like the child. The fact that they were able to mirror each other's character well was actually praiseworthy. And Shim never ceased to amaze me. First off, she enacted the role of a spoiled, rich, bratty kid. And she then transitioned into acting like an adult, which she also slayed. And for me, it was the way she called Nadia Buari as Emerald. That really got me laughing. Her body language, her mannerisms, even the way she started carrying herself like an adult helped her in portraying the character of an adult really well. She slayed her role. And Nadia Buari was just as good. She played the role of a Gen Z really well. The way she spoke, her mannerisms, her facial expressions, down to her wardrobe change. You know, I love how real they were with making the whole fictional phenomenon look convincing. You know, after the body swap, Lisa's dress sense became like that of Emerald's and vice versa, you know, to make it convincing that both were inhabiting each other's bodies. Even the way they would briefly forget that they were in a different body and end up saying something that the initial inhabitor of that body wouldn't normally say. How did Nadia manage to refer to Pearl as mom without laughing? And how did Pearl manage to treat Nadia like her daughter without laughing? We definitely need the BTS of this movie, that's for sure. The movie explores themes of business, parenthood, drama, comedy, body swap, and many more. In terms of the comedy aspect, trust me, this movie will literally crack you up. For me, it was the scene where Nadia Buari began to sing, I'm so ATL, I'm so ATL, like that literally had me rolling. The business meeting scenes will crack you up, and so many other scenes too. You see Paul and Nadia Buari, I just love this duo. They ate, they slayed. Performances were praiseworthy. Now for the support roles, I'll start with the character Roslyn, which was played by Blossom Ihuoma. Now this girl's acting skill is top notch. It's natural and I just love the way she speaks. You know, playing the character of a friend who was a bad influence, she made that role seem custom made for her. Like her acting was really good. Then for Chinedum Odiaka, who played the character of Dashel, Lisa's boyfriend. For a support role, he played his part. His acting was calm and gentle. But there was a scene where he was asking for sugar from Lisa. At least he thought it was Lisa. Like, how can someone be asking for sugar from a parent in front of their child? Like, that felt a little bit out of character, but nevertheless, it added to the humor. Then as for Somto Jen, who played the character of Darlington, honestly, to me, this guy's acting felt kind of unreal. It was unnatural and it felt like he was reading from the script. And I don't know if it's just me or this guy didn't look the part of a bad boy. Forget the fact that he braided his hair. He had this innocent look. Well, you know what they say. You can't judge a book by its cover. Even Smith Onogu, who played the character of Michael, Emerald's dad, his acting felt a little bit unnatural. It felt forced. The way he spoke like he was reading from a script too. Then as for this guy, I just wish that we had more of him and Emerald, the real Emerald. At least they could have shown us a scene where Emerald finally accepts him as her friend. But nevertheless, I mentioned business being one of the themes of this movie, and in terms of authenticity, the business aspect was looking authentic. Now, I want to ask, the character Emerald made mention of once she turns 18. That is, she wasn't up to 18 yet. Now, is it really possible for a child that's less than 18 to make a business presentation that good and land that deal? Was it really possible? Is it really possible? What do you think? If a movie is based on body swap and there isn't any character growth, because basically both characters get to live in each other's shoes. If there isn't any character growth, the whole essence of the movie would be a flop. But that wasn't the case for this movie. The character Emerald had a good character dynamic. Her character arc was a good one. She later realized that being an adult wasn't easy and the whole initial perspective she had for her mom changed. So, the character growth here was a good one. Now, the subtitles of the movie was correct, especially during the first half of the movie. But during the second half, towards the end part, there were a lot of errors in the subtitles. I don't know why they didn't correct it, but we move. So the narrative isn't exactly new in terms of the whole body swap phenomenon. Because I know most of us, we've seen a lot of movies based on body swap, mostly in Hollywood movies. Take, for example, the Hollywood movie titled Freaky Friday, for those of you that have seen it, and many others. But the performances in this movie made the narrative compelling. It was actually praiseworthy. It made it worthwhile. And the movie having a duration of 2 hours and 22 minutes, the pacing was alright. It wasn't fast paced, it wasn't rushed, it was just okay. The movie was also directed well. Shout out to Cassie for directing the movie. And the cinematography was also good. Shout out to AGK and there for the cinematography. Then as for the music which complemented the movie, special shout out to Michelle Tochux, Samuel Tochux and Mr. T for the music. So I think I'll be giving Borrowed Days a 4 out of 5 thumbs up. If you've seen the movie, what did you think about it? Let me know in the comments below and I'll meet you there. Bye.